This presentation is a requirement of new project risk management BMME 5103 assignment task 2, Master of Business Administration, semester May 2019. The presentation is presented by Rafin Muhammad Rifil from Kuala Lumpur Sening Center. Content that will be presented in these slides are: number 1, project introduction; 2, risk identification; 3, risk monitoring and control plan; 4, project success criteria; and 5, conclusion. On March 2019, the company has agreed to undertake an offshore project technical segregation project for X location offshore Sarawak, Malaysia. The offshore geotechnical site investigation campaign was performed using the company dedicated geotechnical vessel. The objective of the offshore geotechnical site investigation campaigns are to perform pilot hole drilling in determining the absence of shallow gas at the correct geophysical position provided by client, to perform geotechnical sampling and in situ testing borehole in order to determine the soil stratigraphy, physical, mechanical, and engineering properties at the correct geophysical position provided by client, to perform in situ testing, offshore and onshore laboratory tests, to obtain soil in situ behavior, mechanical, and engineering properties, to perform interpretation and evaluation of geotechnical data based on results from soil and in situ testing, to submit report presenting the result of the fieldwork, engineering analysis, and recommendation. The vessel was mobilized on 15 March 2019 in Labuan, and the duration of project was 10 days. This project was selected as a case study for this assignment due to the complexities and associated risks. Based on the previous geophysical survey conducted in this location, it was identified that this location was found to have potential risk of shallow gas. Construction risk assessment was conducted on November 2018. A brainstorming session was conducted between project management team, asset team, expert discipline, and service providers to evaluate all potential associated risks. There were 14 risks were identified and registered in the risk assessment, including promobilization of project execution, and demobilization of project. Finding from the assessment showed that drilling activities will pose very high likelihood risk to people, asset, and reputation due to the presence of potential shallow gas at the proposed location. Sample of CRA for this project is attached in next slide. The hazard and effect register is used to document the hazard identified, the consequences related to the hazard, the risk associated with the hazard, and what action are used to control the risk. Hazard identification consists of reviewing all of the activities on site and determining the hazard associated with the activity. A job hazard analysis is a technique that focuses on job tasks as a way to identify hazards before they occur. It focuses on the relationship between the worker, the task, the tools, and the work environment. Ideally, after identifying the hazard, we will take steps to eliminate or reduce them to an acceptable risk level. Besides potential shallow gas, there are other risks that need to be managed, such as existing facilities, underneath location, and weather. Risk analysis gives a rational basis for risk contingency planning and evaluation. The objective of the risk analysis are to separate minor acceptable risks from the major risks and provide data to assist in the evaluation and treatment of risk. The risk analysis involves consideration of the sources of risk, their consequences, and the likelihood that those consequences may occur. Risk matrices are used to assess the overall risk level or rating. The risk is a factor of the severity of the impact caused by the release hazard and the likelihood of the hazard being released from its normal containment. The risk rating is a combination of the risk likelihood and the risk impact on overall project and is determined by using client risk assessment metric. Based on the CRA, shallow gas was identified as very high risk. Due to potential of shallow gas present, one of the controls that has been taken was by conducting a pilot hole drilling. In areas where preliminary examination have not ruled out possibility of encountering shallow gas, a pilot hole incorporating special safety features and procedures need to be drilled. Pilot hole drilling mainly to investigate the absence or presence of this shallow gas at proposed soil boring location. The other control measures taken for this project is to amend the contractual agreement. The contract was amended to clearly specify every party's responsibilities for each risk that has been identified. Apart from that, the contractual budgetary was also being revised due to additional costs that will be incurred during the campaign, for example, additional requirement for pilot hole. Contingency budgetary reserve were also allocated to set aside to assist the project manager to reduce the risk of cost overrun. Should the uncontrollable shallow gas cake appear during the campaign, the drilling team will have to cut the drill pipes, and this will cause loss of project equipment. Due to the possibility of equipment loss, additional budgetary is required to ensure the continuity of the project. Some of the risks that are insurable for this project are covered by insurer. The provision with terms and conditions that have been agreed by both client and contractor and included in the requirement in the contractual agreement. The type of risks which were insured during the project were property damage, indirect consequential loss, legal liability, and personnel related. The emergency management at work site is specified in the contractor's emergency response and preparedness procedure and shall be strictly adhered to while working on board work vessel. Trainings were also provided to ensure competent personnel and understanding of the project risk. One of the mandatory training that is required by client is permit to work. Other trainings such as personnel basic offshore requirement training, for example, basic offshore survival and emergency training is required before personnel can join the campaign. Other control like toolbox meeting, vessel drills such as fire abandon ship and pull-out drill were conducted regularly during the campaign to ensure crew preparedness in the event of shallow gas incident happen. All these meetings and drills were recorded and documented and submitted to stakeholders for deliberation and reference. The project was initially expected to be completed within 7 days. However, the project was completed in 10 days due to the unexpected risk, which was weather. These unexpected risks, such as weather, however, is mitigated through the contractual agreement and is standby due to weather is reimbursable. The project was completed within the budgetary allocated. Since no shallow gas incident occurred during the campaign, any extra budgetary were unused. The project managed to capture 30% gross profit margin and considered successful. The statistical performance targets have been set to support contractors, HSE plan and client target to achieve zero. This statement makes it clear that the activities we undertake should cause no harm to people and the environment in which we work and live. This project was selected as a case study for this assignment due to the complexities and associated risks. Based on the previous geophysical survey conducted in this location, it was identified that this location was found to have potential risks of shallow gas. A brainstorming session was conducted between project management team, asset team, expert discipline and service providers to evaluate all potential associated risks. There were 14 risks were identified and registered in the risk assessment, including from mobilization of project execution, and demobilization of project. Findings from the assessment showed that drilling activities will pose very high likelihood risk to people, asset and reputation due to the presence of potential shallow gas at the proposed location. Due to potential of shallow gas present, one of the controls that has been taken was by conducting a pilot hole drilling. Pilot hole drilling mainly to investigate the absence or presence of the shallow gas at proposed soil boring location. The project was managed to achieve all the overall objectives. All objectives were performed as per contractual specification and requirement. The results were presented in final engineering report and submitted to client.